Alright, folks. Welcome back, everyone. 皆さん、おかえりなさい。今日は220日目です。It is day 220. Yesterday was it was okay. We're coming back from our vacation, right? Our 6-day-ish break from WaniKani and Hazuhiro. Did my fair share of yapping to catch up for what I have been doing and thinking about the last 6 days or a week or so. And yeah, fatigue really set in. It was a rough time, right? It's nice to enjoy breaks and then have a routine to settle back into, lack of a better word, settle back into the routine, right? We'll see how this works. It was our second lesson day. Fewer items. I think it was roughly 60-ish, right? 15 plus, yeah, like 63. So we took the 63 plus something else. Is this really something else in there? I'll try to get on top of it. There's something Japanese related for after our Hanzuhiro session today. It's a big day. I've been following Wakotabi for a while now. So we'll look forward to hitting up Japanese again afterwards, after our traditional Chinese lesson. Anyways, let's get into it. We're gonna take it easy on the review, although Hanzuhiro was pretty rough yesterday. All right, let's get into this. What in the world? Hold. What am I looking at? No, no, that's not it. Is this a burn item? Oh, dude, if this is a burn item, oh no, it can't be because one of these characters are much later. Shellfish and winter. Yeah, that's definitely failure. Let's no, that's not even close. What in the world? All right, we're skipping this one. I nope, not a chance for now. Anyways, oh, this is good. History is it's kind of okay for that. Yes.
達する
Asuru. No. Why do I want to write? Okay, something's not to attain, not obtain. Okay. Hmm. 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 Oh no. I don't recall what the component breakdown for this is. The Chinese is fine, right? Oh, I want to say, okay. Again, something else. Kind of like report, no? Let's skip in this. Okay. Guessing that stuff is noon. We're skipping this one too. Oh no. We're off to a great start. It's to increase, right? Increase.
増える
増える Your difference.
Koibito.
What? Oh.
物騒
Busso. I accidentally typed Zo. Busso. Busso. Hmm.
非常口
Hijoguchi. Right. Oops. I didn't mean to type exist. Exit. What? Oh. Refuse.
断る
Kotowaru. Dang it. Oh. Oops.
借りる
Kariru. Huh. Okay.
脳死
No shit. Mm.
Shaka
Shaka. Oi. Shakuya. Shakuya is the one that we're really supposed to enter there.
参加者
Rankasha. I can't spell. Or participant, participator. It's fine. It's fine. My English good. What? Oops.
飲酒
Inshu. What? Yes, this is fine. Does that help? Oh, it does kind of help. Oops. Oh my gosh, I fat fingered so many things. Please.
報道
Hold on. This one is. Okay. No. No, no.
立派
Deepa. Uh,
外れる
Azireru. Hmm. This was not Sai. Right? Oh, I think we wrote something for this one. We have Cyborg. I feel like this had a pivot, right? We need a Kiwa.
気は
Kiwa. A keyword, Kiwa on the side. Shut down the cyborg. Right?
飛ぶ
Hmm. I lost the left side Onyomi. That's a little disappointing. Unless, no. Skipping this. Okay. Okay, I went for it. Didn't work. Oh, wait. It's like, right?
通じる
Ujiru. Oh, I forgot the Ujiru. That one's wildly complicated.
重なる
Anaru. Do stacked. Fine. Oh, this one has a weird breakup. Okay. Hold. Figured out what you're supposed. This is simplify or change to some extent. Oh, sheep, horns, brown. It's good. A good character. Someone like kind, virtuous. I think. What word did they go with? Morally good? Just good, it works. And what was that? Excuse me? No. Not what I thought it was. Not that. So familiar yet so different. Oh wait, fine. I wrote cone, but I have no idea what it's supposed to mean. Dang. Wait. Oh, that has a tsunami, right? What are you? You are not good. I don't remember the left side. Yeah. Okay. Let's go with that sounds real. Skip this. Oh wait, I think no. What was that? Oh, that was nuclear power, wasn't it? That was atom. Okay.
急増
Fusel. Weapon and okay. What am I setting? I'm setting something. I'm establishing a system. Like sets of things, establishing a set of tools for unmowing.
設ける
Good, yeah.
設定する
Tetesuru. Okay. What incarnation? Oh, what? Why do I feel like that's Nashi? Window? What in the world? I don't remember this from yesterday. Is this from yesterday? I don't remember this. No, this can't be from yesterday. Somehow I feel like that's Nashi. Probably not. Huh. I don't know what this is. I'm not gonna read the context sentences yet. YOLO?
夕焼け
Okay, Yuyake. Why?
総員
So in. Okay. Feeling pretty unsure right now. Whoops, I can't spell control. No. Yes. Just want to like write this. Oh. Huh. I don't remember. Alright, we're skipping this too. Oh no. Okay.
相対的
Multiculturalism. 相対的は、Okay. Heck. Oh, hold up.
増税
増税。増税は、tax increase. She might. I mean, she might. What? How am I? Wait. Hold. That's not what I think it is on the right. No. Hmm. This is something like condition, right? How are you different? Oh. Matters, issues, okay.
事件
Jiken. It's all of those are I guess this can be also negative sort of incident or case. Yeah, all of those are still good enough. When you have a situation, you have an incident.
タチ
叶う
Oh,
悲しい
Kanashi. Okay.
建設
Insetsu. The end is nigh until a cyborg shows up. I like that one.
検問する
Enmonsuru.
増加
Oka. Kenken is not Kenken.
検査
Kensa. Oh, there's Caesar. Hello.
.税金
選挙
Thank you. Just the O. Did I already play Wakotabi Day? No, I have not. It's at the end. It's gonna be like another 4 hours before. It's in the order that it's displayed. Gotta do our lessons first. What was this? Mino?
実り
Nori. Okay. Jingcha? Jingcha 是什么? Jingcha? Okay. Let's see. You're excited to play it? I'm excited too. I'm excited to play it all over again. Yeah. With the Steam integration. To revisit. It'll be after my Hanzo Hero lesson though. And then we're gonna play through it once again. Get all the achievements. Have you played it before? Or are you starting? Is this gonna be the first time, Caesar? I guess if you're asking me about Wakotabi, that would imply that you've played it on the phone and or the demo. Or more likely. Oh, it will be your first time. Awesome. I look forward to hearing what you think about it. Yeah, we've been keeping up with it every 6 months. The last one was a little bit less than 6 months ago. So they added 2 new sections. Oh, they completed the current prefecture, actually. I keep up to date with the patches, but I've been revisiting every 6 months. Oh, I see. I see. Well, I hope it is a very great experience, right? First time around. We'll see. Oops. Right, that's fine. That's fine. What was the thing that I was using for the right hand? A net elder. Oh, a net coffin and a sun. Huh. That's the capturing someone. Oh,
警察署
警察署。警察署. Oh, 警察署 is like a 警察, 警察. Maybe like 警察将 or 警察. 警察将. I wonder if that's related to. No, that's not. Yeah. Interesting. I a little shaky on the show. Oh, thank you, Caesar. I hope. What is this app I'm using? Do I recommend it? This is WaniKani. WaniKani is an SRS based kanji, only specifically kanji focused system. So if you're using Anki or something, you can more or less this is serving that similar role. WaniKani is a subscription based SRS. There is a lifetime subscription, but usually it's a monthly thing. You can give it a try for a month. There's a 1 month free trial. It's largely just to focus on establishing a basis for character reading, and then you go and use that character reading however you wish, right? Sure. So government building, is this the one where you like go and bag yourself a office building? Oh no, government officials probably put out on the best shows. Okay. Yeah, it's like if you're not, I don't know if you've read something about Hazix. There's like this very popular guy or very popular book. I'm gonna call it a book. It's called Hazix Guide to. I don't actually know if it's referring to Japanese or not, but we'll just say kanji and hanzi. They're both relevant to each other because of these characters. Hazix, I don't know if that's how people pronounce it, but I'm sure there's a PDF lying around. Hazix Guide. It's quite old. it's the idea of using mnemonic devices, mnemonic devices to read this. It's an interesting take. And what I mean is, it's a really excellent, or I haven't read it myself, but I was told they describe the main points of Hazik stuff, which happens to overlap with the things I use growing up. A bit of a combination of mind palacing, some mind palace techniques, and then using that to create building blocks. So for example, how do I know this is Jingcha, which is Chinese, Jingcha, and then this is Keisatsu. So this is a roof, right? So it's a roof over a festival. Sorry, mouse writing. Roof over a festival. And when you're on the roof over and you hear a festival underneath, you have to make a guess as to what it is, what the festival is. But if you have satsu nearby, Satsuki nearby, you can ask Satsuki what's happening, right? Instead of guessing. So this is Satsu. But that's a breakdown of how you can create this. And then this can be further broken down in case you forget, right? So this has elements of a moon. So this is moon plus, I don't know what this is. We'll just call it together. These can form a tent. And then this can be it can be an angel, an altar, or something. Yeah. And then you do this, you kind of go through this and create your own. In WaniKani, they provide these things. So if you're not like, oftentimes people don't like making up mnemonics, but once you get in the groove of seeing how the mnemonics work from a different perspective, then you can go on and make it your own. And then you can start building up this skill, which comes fairly well in order to create salient memories for short-term memory in order to get them encoded for long-term maintenance. And I use WaniKani with Hanzehiro. Hanzehiro takes a different approach to this largely Hazix, like a iteration of it. Hanzehiro, you have, this is no longer a roof, but this is a dollhouse. And the bottom, this component, is now incense. So this is incense. And who is doing that? Charlie Brown. Charlie Brown is on stage in an auditorium. Putting on a performance. Or putting on a performance. And the crowd is examining him. So then this is cha. So this would be what you say in Chinese. Cha. And that's, so Hanzehiro uses another component. Yeah. So those two have different takes. And then when you use this type of device, you can make it your own. Like, if I didn't use either of these tools, which I haven't ever learned a language like this. Like, these are tools that are new age. I'm fairly old. I'm almost 40 years old, and I've used other techniques than this. So I've been using these to explore how other people are learning this stuff. So for me, the components would be a bit different. You can create your own system in the future, and it becomes pretty rapid. I look like I'm 30. Well, that's nice. Thank you. So this is what it looks like. Yeah. I don't know if that interests you, but sometimes it can be fun to mix it up, obviously. I'm not entirely sure. How are you remembering vocabulary? What are you doing to remember vocabulary? Actually, I haven't really asked. When you're, as a person about to play Wakotabi, are you playing Wakotabi for the first time? Like, what I mean is, for the first time in terms of exposure to Japanese, or have you started learning? Oh, you just started learning. I see. Yeah, this is a fairly... when you start streaming Wakotabi, right? Because you mentioned it, you'll probably get people mentioning these buzzwords. SRS. I don't... Have you learned another language, though? Are you already multilingual? If this is your first secondary language, some people will probably mention SRS. This is an example of SRS, which is like a flashcard. This is very reductive, but it's like a flashcard approach to things. And the flashcard, the SRS technically is just a flashcard, but now most of the flashcards include mnemonics. Yes, English is your second language. You're actually Brazilian. That makes sense. You're at the high statistical end. You use Anki a lot? Okay, so this is basically Anki, right? And then Anki's cards, their decks, are the provides the context, right? All the context. And some things are passive context. So oftentimes flashcards have passive context. And what WaniKani offers is mnemonics. The mnemonics is kind of passive as well because you're reading it. But the idea is to try to take what you have in the mnemonics and make it an active process. And that's why I'm using this tool right now, because I'm kind of curious how they break these characters down and how it contrasts with the way I look at it. And what to clarify what I mean by passive is when you read something explicit. So on Anki, right, you'll see this character and then you either know the answer or not, and then it'll give you the information, right? It'll give you the information, and that's fine. Explicit instruction is fine when you're like on low energy and you want to take in some more things, but without having an active process involved, like imagination, vocally messing around, forming a larger connection, it can be very tough over time. So this type of thing may have potential poor scalability. Right. Poor scalability. So WaniKani tries to diffuse that by using mnemonics. And then Hanzahiro also takes that approach with Chinese. So they are a Chinese app. However, I mentioned this before. I covered it in the 200-day review, comparing and contrasting WaniKani and Hanzahiro to some extent. They use more of a mind palace approach. So the order of operations also matter. Am I linguistic or a teacher by any chance? You're learning more here than on your classes. I am not. I'm not a linguistic expert, nor am I a polyglot or anything like that. My background was in education, though. I didn't major in pedagogics, or however you call it, pedagogy. basically the study of teaching. I was a science person. I have a PhD in molecular biology, but my main interest in pursuing science was to teach, to disseminate information. So yes, you get to experiment and solve problems and discover things, but ultimately it was for passing knowledge. So my major focus was teaching in a manner. So the way I speak and whatnot is, I would say that's one of the skills you have to acquire in the long run if you end up getting any form of PhD, because in that process you have to defend your thesis and be able to talk to people of varying levels. And one of the duties that you have is also teaching college students, right? You have to not only explain things to your colleagues who are very specialized in it, so you talk very specialized, but to people of other disciplines, and then you also have to talk to students, and then so on and so on, right? Like a TED talk is something that would be to a greater audience, so it would require a very specific thing. So the way I explain things through my experience is more on the lines of a TED talk than a lab meeting. I am unemployed though, so I no longer work in the sciences. It's been a little over half a decade now since my postdoc. I haven't really decided where I was gonna do. I started language learning a year and a half ago, so we went up for 6 months for Japanese, Duolingo, right? And then just to see how Duolingo impacts the person, right? Because I'm investigating how modern people approach language learning. And then after 6 months we laddered Chinese, and then after another 6 months I was laddering Spanish as well. Right now, due to like a bit of time management and wakotabi and stuff, Spanish is kind of being on a hold. I was going from my least familiar to my most familiar. So Japanese was the least familiar. Chinese followed by Spanish. Spanish was my first learned language. Or first post-adult, like post-teenage year learned language. So learning language hobbies is the best. Oh, I see. Is that your major hobby? Am I working only with the streams now? Sort of. Yeah. At least for published things. For public things, we're only doing learning things. So, but the learning thing can involve things like video games. So is English my first language? Technically, I was about to share my background. I forgot about that. Technically, English is my third language, but I'm a heritage speaker. So I was born in the United States, but I'm diaspora. My parents are the immigrants. So my mother tongue is Fujianese, which is a dialect that belongs to my parents' Chinese heritage. That dialect is related to Mandarin, and Mandarin is technically my second language because in kindergarten, my school was actually bilingual. It was Mandarin and English. However, the nature of my heritage speaking changed when we moved, and then we moved to an all English place. So largely outside of my early years, like when I was 5 or 6, technically I was speaking 3 languages, but that was before I started forming sentences and whatnot. So now, through the years, English is my primary common language that I use. However, I exclusively speak in Fujianese with my parents. They are not English competent. Occasionally we throw in English here and there, but it's more like heritage speaking. And for Mandarin, why am I using Hanzahiro for Chinese is because while I can hear things and understand things implicitly, I can't read. I'm illiterate. We didn't learn could not read, so we started about a year ago. The nice thing about laddering kanji with Hanzi is that despite if you're using an SRS type system, at least in my opinion, this is anecdotal. I really didn't plan on learning it this way, but because of the way SRS system works, and you're using this as the form of context, right? A lot of times when people talk about learning languages, you need context, right? Context helps you frame more supporting evidence. Well, you can also learn Chinese if you want it, because that would form double the amount of context from a single character. In fact, you can also have two different mnemonic systems reinforce the same thing. So now you have a less is more situation. So these characters are reinforced by multiple things that aren't necessarily sentences or paragraphs. And that's kind of what I'm doing now. I'm laddering the SR. If you invested quite a lot in SRS, and then you invested a lot in mnemonics, a way to enhance the mnemonics is to layer the mnemonics. So instead of having to create a lot of stories over and over again, you can be learning multiple systems applying to this. So the reason why this will stick with me is because both Chinese and Japanese are the same. And then you can compare and contrast the systems as well. Instead of using this holder, which can imply like a building, you can mnemonically lump these into groups. Like jia, right? Jia would be one. And kan would be another one. Oops. Right. So these are all grouped in when you're using mnemonic systems, you can group things together. So even if you don't have like this context sentence, right? This context sentence is missing. You have many mnemonic contexts for this stuff. So it's kind of like a greater compression of things. Yeah, you love learning languages, but you have a problem with consistency. Oh, that's fair enough. That's understandable. I talked about this. I talked about this yesterday. Typically, I talk about the learning process. Most of the time, I spend playing video games and like talking about movies, hobbies, and stuff. But my main focus is consistency, or like it's more like habit formation, critical thinking, and problem solving. And it's understandable because most apps also target consistency, trying to provide people with consistency. Adults don't have to reinvent the wheel, sort of speak. The older you get, the less likely you're going to have to reinvent the wheel on establishing new habits. So consistency is often the first thing to tackle for an adult. As a child, habits are formed and deconstructed over and over again very rapidly. So finding your thing and your routine can be one of the stopgaps for consistency. I'm trying to be like very short about it. You want to learn Mandarin? Could you type the name of the dialect? Oh, Fuzhou. Fuzhou is this. Typically, people will go with this. Or you can add the ease. Sometimes this can be written this way. Substituting these, and then some people can refer to it as Fujin dialect, which is this is the area, the name of the area. However, Fujin dialect is composed of two things that you'll probably find. Hokkien is the common one, because if you're asking someone from like Taiwan or someone outside who are more likely to be on the English internet, the mainland Chinese have their own internet, so most people would say, oh, like Fujin dialect, like Hokkien. But Fuzhou Fuzhou is a separate group than the Hokkien dialect. And I can say something like, this is Fujiwa. 我只能讲你话是Fujiwa. 不是中文，中文的拼音听到不不是同意 right 不是同意福州话嘅普通話講話嘅聲音車一樣咩兩樣 right you can probably tell that Mandarin is very identifiably not Fujonese, even though despite having the same potential intonation. Yeah, so that's what I use for my parents, but I usually speak in what we call it. I call it hybrid language. I don't know what the proper term is, but it's your your Spanglishes, your Fujo, so Fujoglish, or your Chinglish, right? But most of the time it's more like your Fujo Mandish. that's kind of what heritage. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yes. Portuguese and Espanol. Yeah. Do you, and you said Brazil, right? Brazil. So pretty much that. I think I usually refer to this as heritage speaking, but I don't know the proper term is. But this is a very common aspect of heritage speakers, right? Those who have multiple languages, but they're not quite complete. They're largely spoken out of convenience. So even my parents have adopted this. Like sometimes, like today, my parents needed to tell me that they had a call from the cardiologist. So they would say something like, "Oh, ni Lily, ni like my sister, ni sister got a call, aginan," right? Like so you would have the mix, right? It's whatever word is most convenient, and I kind of do that when I'm learning Japanese and Chinese. Japanese is very similar, like 最近 right 最近日本語を study right 勉強する right I just said recently, right? Recently or like today 大丈夫です right? today は大丈夫です 对对はいわかった right? So you're just kind of like going back and forth. Japanese does a lot of English words all of a sudden. Yeah, it does. You're gonna probably find that to be very funny. I think one of the earliest things, and you're gonna find that Japanese feels very much Spanish-y plus Portuguese-y when it comes to like the sound, when you're like talking about sounds. So you got all of it, it's not a, I don't think it's a great it's a big coincidence that Spanish / Portuguese speakers will kind of be gravitate towards Japanese, and then and English is often a common language to speak, so the relationships that I'm talking about is probably relatable regardless of what our third language is, right? Chinese, by coincidence, the thing about Chinese is these characters are the same like 90% of the time. And understanding it from a mnemonics approach. Understanding from a mnemonics approach allows you to circumvent the meaning. And what I mean by that is yes, sure, this isn't exactly police station, but because if you learn it into smaller parts, it becomes police station regardless of either language. So like this is not how you write police station in Chinese, but you would get police station using Chinese anyways because of the radical system, like how you get this, right? So when you start reading and you're just reading for comprehensible input, right? You're reading for comprehension. Oftentimes, despite using different characters to express different things, these characters form mnemonic groups, is what I'm calling them now. They form mnemonic groups. And because they naturally form mnemonic groups, you can pivot pretty easily. So you start doing an active process called like what I would call modifying mnemonic groups, which is what happens when I was talking about. So if you don't know if this is police station, you kind of know that this is probably equivalent to the meaning behind jia. Jia is a house or a person by profession, like a person. So these form new mnemonic groups. So as long as you know that this is a reference to a place, you know that if this is police, then it's some form of place. And where do police stay? They stay at a station. So police station. Despite this would not be the it would probably use building instead. And a building would be something like this, right? So it can get you to be very active in learning as opposed to memorizing things, right? The other way that most people would remember things is they would just look at this and they would remember it. But there's no connection to anything else until they start reading sentences, right? Until they start reading sentences. And that is usually dogmatic. It's the dogmatic way of remembering things. Like most people would say, you can't just learn vocabulary. You have to learn them in the context that they are. So the paragraph or like conversation, that's true. That's one way to go about it. Alternatively, you can form different schema using broken things, right? Like for example, Legos. Legos are a great example. You can learn different parts that you have, you can get different parts. And if you make a box out of it, it becomes a box. But you can appreciate the parts and how it relates to a box to create more boxes, which leads to buildings. Or you can look at a building and break it down into boxes. And usually this is what's considered natural learning. Most people think this is the natural learning, right? It's the top-down approach. You take something that's complicated and you hope to understand its parts enough so that it's sufficient. So at this level, I don't want to get too complicated, but this is called the emergence level. So each level is an emergence level. Sometimes when you look at parts, you can't, it can be difficult to see the bigger picture, right? So this is one of the limitations of SRS. When you're using a mnemonic device, no matter how well you know this, it's difficult to imagine it into a bigger part. That's fair. However, do you remember the meaning of the character? Sometimes looking at the bigger picture can be overwhelming, right? It can be overshadowed by the bigger picture. So then you wouldn't appreciate the details of it. So naturally, in terms of language learning, you take both approaches. So I do a combination of the two. My top down is in the evening, which is not on stream. This is in my evening, which I would I don't know, watch shows, some sort of topic that I like, right? And then during my stream periods, I do top down, or I guess bottom up would be the approach. And this is how I would probably describe what WaniKani is, and Anki, sometimes Anki. Sometimes it's variant on the person's deck, right? The person's deck will describe the process that they have. So how many hours have I been studying per day? I have to clarify something, but actually let me writing with mouse is kind of like such a weird sensation, but I've gotten a little bit used to it. Let's switch over to a tablet. So when it comes to studying, there are two components, but I would say on an average day I would study, and this is including everything. So studying, let's qualify language learning, right? On an average day I would be doing, in the broadest sense of studying, 10 hours a day. Now, before this gets a little crazy, I have to qualify what studying is, right? Studying is usually broken up into learning and practice. So this 10 hours is broken up into that. And then remember that we're talking about language learning. So that also breaks up between Japanese, Chinese, and even Spanish, right? And I do also study English to some extent. And what I mean by that is I do things academically in English, that like learning a concept, like an abstract concept, like what is the, I don't know, Planck's constant of the planet Jupiter or something. That would be an English related context. But studying, so we have learning and practicing. Learning is what I feel a lot of people think when they're referring to as studying. And learning, I would say it's about 4 hours a day. And these 4 hours are typically broken up on average. We're talking about averages between Japanese and Chinese right now. Spanish is on a hold because of Wakotabi this week, but Spanish has been like a pivot point. So technically it's 4 hours. So what is practice? The other 6 hours. The other 6 hours is usually what I call practice. And practice is when I do output. And what is output most of the time? It's due to immersion stuff. Immersion stuff is already part of my life. So this is part of my lifestyle. So before I went into studying a language, I already do all of these things. So, you know, I watch anime. I watch like Japanese content already before I started learning Japanese, and then I've already watched Chinese content most of my life. So, and why is practice and not learning? It's because most of the time when I'm doing immersion, I'm only outputting using what I know. And I only focus on what I know. So for example, if I'm watching an anime and I only understand like 50% of the words, those are the only 50% of the words I'm responsible for. Like that's it. It's not any more or any less. It's not that. I don't try to learn new things. I try to find the things I know in those things, and I continue to do that. So I spend practicing. Now, there is a little bit, it's not all output. It's more like 80% output and 20% input. So there is some slight learning, right? Like, for example, oh, I noticed that kudasai. Kudasai is always at the end of a sentence or something. Like, you know, you have something and then you have kudasai, right? Please. And that allows me to form the normalization of the context of where kudasai is, right? Or onegai shimasu, right? However, all these things are passive. So this 20% is passive. So it's not as the same as someone who uses graded readers. Graded readers, or like doing like an immersion approach of comprehensible input. Applying like comprehensible input in their immersion, that would be an active thing. So usually a lot of times my practice is active output, but not active input. It's not this. The only time I'm actively inputting is whatever I'm streaming. So right now, the vast majority of stuff is either a video game or this thing, where I'm accruing words or things that I can find out in the wild. So this would be like 80% input and 20% output. But even then, that's not really true. So that's not really true either, because right now, today is a review day. I don't know how Anki works, like your Anki deck, particular Anki deck works, but I will specify even further when it comes to learning. Learning is broken up into even further. Learning is considered the idea of exposure. And I only consider exposure part of the learning. So if you encounter a new information, that's learning, and it just stops there, right? Unless you encode new details, there's no more learning. So when it comes to Anki, for example, or like flashcards, the only time you learn are lessons, right? That's the only time I consider as learning. So when I learn, I'm incredibly active during this time. However, everything after, your review stuff, that's practice. So I would actually say the stuff that people think about when they say study, they're really talking about learning. And when they're talking about learning, they're also talking about novel knowledge. And in WaniKani, it would be roughly every 5 days, I would be learning for 2 to 3 hours. And that's it. So if I were to extrapolate it down to approximately a week, I only actually study 2 to 3 hours a week in Japanese. And Hanzahiro does it a little different. Hanzahiro has a different schedule, and it's 20 lessons every day. So there's new knowledge, new learning every day, and that takes about an hour every day. Oh no, not an hour, sorry, 30 minutes. 30 minutes a day. Maybe even less, actually. I'm gonna say nowadays it's like 20 minutes a day. So what happens is they average out to be about the same. In a process of a week, I would be approximately doing 3 hours of Japanese and 3 hours. I'm being very rough with my estimates of Chinese. And this is the hour, this would be the amount of time I would tell people, because that's what they're thinking, in my opinion. My understanding from interacting with people over a couple years now, or not a couple years, it's almost 2 years. What they think is learning is novel things. So I actually don't do a lot of that. I do less than 3 hours a week. The rest of the time, that long hour, about the 9 hours things, like what, so 9 times 7, about 63 hours. Only 10% of it is the studying that people think I'm doing. That qualifies what other people, like I asked people over the years, over the months, what do they consider as studying, right? So to qualify their studying, I only study 10% of the time. 90% of the time is practice. for myself, that would be a very reasonable way to answer someone. So I study roughly 6 hours a week. And that sounds reasonable, right? That sounds like less than 1 hour a day for 2 languages. So if you split them up, 30 minutes a day doesn't sound so bad anymore. If you wanted to split them up, right? 30 minutes a day, that's when I'm actually learning. And oftentimes it's about the quality of the 30 minutes. Yeah. So that is what I have come to understand other people. When I'm doing language learning though, I'm actually spending over 70 hours a day in language learning. Right. Because we have to be very careful. Oftentimes, if you keep thinking that everything leads to learning, you might start to not see what are the things you're actually learning and what are the things you're actually practicing. Because oftentimes things like Duolingo, for example, and then Anki for sure, sometimes when you do something a lot, it doesn't necessarily translate to learning, but it does translate to something else. It translates to consistency, and consistency is the principle of maintenance, which is separate actually from learning. Lots of times people think that learning and maintenance are overlaps a lot. I would say learning has like a 10% overlap with maintenance, and then vice versa. So that consistency is where most people think is happening when they're learning. That's not really true. It's only 10% of the time. So lots of the apps that are designed like Duolingo and Anki, like SRS, is trying to tackle this. They're trying to create maintenance, give you a form of consistency, but that consistency takes away from learning. It doesn't improve learning. Like what I mean is when you become more and more things to maintain and be consistent, your learning actually goes down. And why is this a thing to remember that's very important is because your progress is going to seem like it slows down, right? And this is what happens when people quit. People quit because getting to their goal becomes slower and slower. It's because you're not learning a lot, because you need to spend time maintaining it. So it's a game, it's the journey, not the destination a lot of times, because you have to focus on maintaining all the things. The more you learn, the more things you have to maintain. And finding ways to understand how to maintain it is through practice. So nowadays, because my brain is filled with information, I need to find ways to keep that information in. So I actually I do an 80-20 split. And most of the time it's maintenance. So I slowly trucked along and did this for a year and a half. And I would say I recently came back from Otakon. And this is lifestyle, right? Yep. So it becomes effortless when you establish a new maintenance and it becomes part of your lifestyle. So I don't have to try to maintain things. It ends up being a passive process. After I'm done learning, which is 30 minutes on average a day per language, I do things. And when I do those things, they maintain the things I have on its own. The sooner you can make it into a lifestyle, which is part of habit formation, the sooner it becomes more about the journey. in my opinion, about the journey than the destination. Because any little thing you have, you know, that precious 10% of learning you have will stay with you. You don't keep walking backwards, right? Now, the problem I do honestly see most of the time is this type of logic, which is a leaping logic. Studying equals learning. Learning must be new, and new things equal progress. Right? In this entire continuum, there's no addressing retention, habits, sustainability, right? Interest, motivation, long-term memory, application. So what happens is when someone studies, they learn something, they think it's new, they get some progress, and then they lose it again, and they repeat the cycle. So then when you get to a scalable limit, so say like you learn 1,000 kanji, and someone gets to that scalable limit, they're like hitting their plateau. This is a plateau when it comes to lacking any form of maintenance. They're gonna go back and either relearn them, or they continue to learn, but the overall upkeep is 1,000 kanji. What happens is then the earlier ones, they get lost, right? And then while you're adding new ones, right? So what happens then is your progress feels like it's treading in place. You're learning new stuff at the cost of forgetting old stuff. And that's what SRS is trying to solve, right? One of the attractions of SRS is to try to allow you to internalize that you're missing a step, right? You're missing a step. When you're studying, you acquire you learn something, right? Then that new thing goes into maintenance. And that maintenance has a very complicated loop with practice. Meanwhile, then you go back to learning and you add more to this loop. So eventually this loop ends up becoming more and more detailed. And therefore then with this, you get progress, right? And once you have maintenance, they both contribute to progress. The problem is maintenance often doesn't seem like progress. Like it's hard to measure, right? This is very hard to measure. And one of the best ways to measure is your review frequency. Your review precision, right? Precision, you could say accuracy, but it's usually precision. How precise are you? How repeatable it is. Whether it's accurate or not, that's another way. So it's precision and accuracy. So you can sample, right? You can evaluate. You do like, I don't know, 100-day evaluation, which is what I typically do for this type of thing. And then you go back and throw it into the cycle. And what happens is you're going to end up modding your practice cycle. So your evaluation, like a test or an exam, right, will tell you what else the practice must modify. And when you get a mod, you add that to your learning pool. So you practice the things you know and are correct, and all the things that are not correct or needs to be modded, you throw it back into the learning pool. And then you learn again, which then leads to maintenance and get integrated. And both of these things are important to be aware, to measure, right? So how does SRS do it? they give you reviews, and the reviews have these metrics, right? But you also have lessons, and lessons are not evaluated by the same metrics, because that's not true. When you get lessons, it's exposure, right? You try to encode the most amount of information you can the first time. And that's why I think this stuff is fairly brilliant. Anki, SRS in general is quite useful. Now, you have to develop this loop if you're actively learning something like through immersion, for example, right? Through immersion, and practicing with immersion is the best way. I think it's okay. I think immersion is okay, provided you grew up with an active inquisitive nature, right? Curiosity. I think there's quite a lot of people who believe if they think immersion is the best way, that's sufficient to create active curiosity. However, nocebo effects are very strong, and also founder's effect or founder's interference. I'm using fancy words, but founder's interference is what I'm saying is if you don't immerse most of the time and integrate complex situations or learn by implicit nature, immersion will not yield any results. Like, for example, if you're not interested in math and I show you the application of math, that does not lead to the best way most of the time. Disinterest in math can still supersede its application of math to learn its best way. Like someone who knows how math is applied does not mean that they would acquire the knowledge about math. They can still use math without any understanding of it. So immersion has that problem. What's a great example of immersion that has that problem? Heritage speaking. Do I understand Fujonese as in order to explain it? I don't. I really can't. I'm actually learning a lot about it now because I'm learning Chinese, or I'm learning Mandarin. Mandarin is helping me understand Fuzhou. But I spent most of my life speaking Fuzhou with my parents. Like, do I understand it? Sort of. The reason why I'm a little hesitant about the people who talk about immersion being the best, I think it is very effective to make someone active when they are not around multilingual people. But there is sufficient evidence, in my opinion, personally, anecdotally, that heritage speaking is a great example of demonstrating that immersion is not the best method. It's a method that you should incorporate with consistency training or any other form of consistency training. So that includes, your grammar, your vocabulary, your nonverbal communication. Just also that. Oh, that's fine. I think I didn't swap too many. So for immersion, right? For immersion, one of the tough things is I think immersion is fantastic because it provides the thing that most people don't do anymore. They don't not provide. It's something that they do frequently. So it's normalized behavior. So it's very approachable. right? Go watch anime, right? For example, go watch anime. That's a normalized behavior. It's a lifestyle choice. It addresses one of the deficiencies immediately. Habit formation. You don't have to form a new habit if you're doing immersion, because you're immersing in the thing that you're already doing. That lowers that really difficult thing about habit formation. It's actually habit coupling, which if I was reading recently, I read Atomic Habits by James Clear, or I listened to James Clear's thing. This is habit coupling. I call it habit association. Habit coupling. So immersion allows habit coupling, which means that you don't have to create a new lifestyle. Habit formation is one of the most toughest things, in my opinion, for adults to manage, because they don't need new habits. So if immersion is very attractive, it's considered best is because it's efficient. It's time efficient. If you are already integrating something stacked on top of a habit you already have, then it doesn't feel like you're wasting time. However, if you take something unnatural like this, you're nearly 100% guaranteed to have to be active at first. Because this is tough. This is going to be tough. And not tough for its context. We're not talking about context. Context is static, right? If you learn how to say hello, you're going to learn how to say hello many different ways. What is tough about this is it's teaching you how to form habits again. Right? It's what James Clear wrote about. It's what he spent, the mechanics of habit formation is like 70% of his books, right? This is the tough part. Now, is this valuable to you? Is knowing how to create a habit, both unnatural and natural, going to provide some investment returns on learning a language? Some people might not think it's optional, might think it's not important. And I understand that, because if immersion is good enough, you don't have to learn anything new about habits. For myself, delving into this type of thing accelerated my interest and my encoding, because it's doing something I don't typically do. When you're doing something for a very long time, you become complacent. This is near the end of his book, complacent. This is one of my major topics, actually. So when you're doing a habit, complacent. When you're complacent, you run the danger of passive learning or passive input. And passive input creates diminished return. Now, you can be very disciplined. That's why there are apps out there that allows you to try to keep you disciplined, right? Disciplined in order to make you active. But generally, when someone says immersion is the best way, often they get diminished return because it's a habit already. So, for example, someone could watch thousands of hours, but only to start learning Japanese after 15 years of watching anime. So when you're asking someone, immersion is the best way, I think spending 15 years being exposed to Japanese and not learning anything is a terrible efficiency. It's an extremely terrible efficiency, right? So to keep, I want to keep a sobering thought. Immersion is great if you stay active. If you are partly active. Now, why is this a thing? Why is this a thing? James Clear did his cycle. He created a cycle where he included one of the topics that I like, which is iterate where he mentioned like standardization, right? Standardization. Then he mentioned optimization. And then he did a little tidbit, which is where I focus on, refinement. Refinement and innovation. I kind of try to draw this in proportion. Like, there's a big, wide area of optimization following standardization. Then there can be refinement to it. And then you must incorporate innovation, because innovation circumvents complacency. So when you become complacent, you naturally become passive. It's really near the end of his book when he says, well, there are downsides to being hyper focused on being excellent at habit formation. You can become complacent. You can stop innovating. Complacency leads to stagnation and disinterest. And one of the words he used was boredom. And I talked about this a lot, boredom. For this is where immersion falls, right? So if you're immersing, ask yourself, what is the lifestyle you are immersing? How long have you been already doing it? If you spent 10 years already watching anime, what is to say that you start a new habit and suddenly you think that in 1 year's time from the anime, you're going to learn Japanese all of a sudden? Right? What happens in this run is that when you are exploring, you're being challenged to change your lifestyle. And this is where we get into a hairy situation. That this 1 year of change can make you stop the lifestyle. Because what was familiar is no longer the same. And since it's no longer the same, it could start to suck. So how have I heard this before? You have heard, I have heard this multiple times. When was the last time you heard someone, I can't watch anime the same anymore. I constantly have to think, and it's tiring. So then anime starts going down. You stop watching anime. So then the habit gets trumped by its undesirability. And then you can go into James Clear's book on atomic habits and talk about all the dissatisfaction, balancing all the things. It becomes a recipe for destroying a habit you have because you didn't focus on lifestyle changes. Now, you might be thinking, okay, so where does immersion come in? Well, if you do SRS, it doesn't interfere. It often doesn't interfere with one of your lifestyles directly. So what happens is this creates a new environment. And if you want to attach some of James Clear's atomic habit principles, when you create a new environment, this environment can be ascribed to learning. It no longer has the baggage of your immersion properties, which can make you complacent. So what happens is if you're doing something different, like SRS, you'll find that you've become more active because your mindset is separated in its environment. You have cues to study. You have things that are rewarding, that is unique to it and identifiable, right? These are the things that create someone to be consistent. And this is what explains why SRS, somehow people feel that they're learning a lot from SRS and they can keep consistent with SRS, but when they get to anime, it's almost like things are just dribble, right? Despite knowing them. How to demonstrate this? One of the most common things in Anki and WaniKani comments is that, wow, when I'm using WaniKani, I just remember words. I always remember them, right? I can answer the questions. But then when I go and do something else, it's still in the same it's still being used the same way, but I have a hard time remembering them. Or hard time recalling, basically, practicing. So it's a combination. There's quite a combination of things going on there. And it's often dealing with a combination of environmental change, social cues, right? Like your own discipline cues. So when someone says you have a consistency problem, or like someone says you have trouble being consistent, we know how habits work, or at least I feel a lot of people kind of have some loose understanding of how their habits work. And oftentimes addressing habits and sometimes also be associated with the methods that you're doing to acquire new knowledge. So alternatively, I would suggest oftentimes doing the thing you do really often with the mindset of practice and maintenance, for myself personally. And the stuff that you're using to learn requires novelty to the extent that it creates active learning. So yes, I did actually learn more in Duolingo about Japanese than I did watching anime. That's a fact, right? I've watched anime since I was 5, but I didn't read any kanji until Duolingo. So immersion is not the best. It's actually one of the crutches, like to me, in reality, right now, it's one of the crutches that is masking and compensating for habit formation. Something that is a tool that involves learning, right? Something new again, or relearning, I guess is the word. So if you're having problems creating new habits with old things, or alternatively, you can try to study your habits. And that's what I usually do most of my life. So each day, like every month, I think about the stuff that I do, you know? I think about all my habits that I have and where can I change things, right? It's not always going to improve things, but over time, it's going to be a net improvement, right? Because failures inform improvements. So in order to keep staying active in my things, I do more with it. So when I'm watching anime, I didn't watch anime the same way the last roughly 35 years. I watch anime varyingly different for the last 35 years, you know. And now language learning is a new way to learn with anime. The question is, what is your experience with learning? And then maintenance. When you pick up a new tool, are you understanding what it does for you? Because oftentimes I feel like people focus, one of the examples that I have is that Duolingo, when someone says Duolingo doesn't work, they focus on the part that it's not meant to be working, or like it's not meant to be better than the other thing. Like for example, Duolingo one of the greatest criticisms with Duolingo is it doesn't have grammar, right? It doesn't have grammar explanation. Okay, ask yourself, what does grammar explanations do for you? Well, lots of times people like to know correct answers, right? Know correct reasoning, right? Okay, what does knowing the correct thing mean? Oftentimes, it makes you feel like you know something. Okay, that's good. But does it help you remember it? To me, a lot of times the answer is no. Because when you read something and you know it for that time, it doesn't mean you're going to use it. To help remember things, you must practice. How do you practice? Through your lifestyle. So did every day you're telling yourself, hey, oh, this is the grammar here. Oh, every day this is the grammar here. What does Duolingo do? Make you do that sentence over and over again. Now, the thing is, there's a danger to that too. You're doing the same thing. You're technically doing the same thing over and over again. But that's your choice. Your choice to do it, to do the same thing over and over again. The second time, did you learn anything new about doing it over again? Like, you yourself have decided to do it the same thing over and over again. Right? So you have to understand these things. Yeah, balance is key. Now, the reason why I like this phrase that you said, balance is key, is you don't have to be like me, who loves talking about like consciousness, like, you know, being analytical about the stuff. Because the wonderful thing about our beautiful brains, in my opinion, we're going to call it the human condition. The wonderful thing about the human condition is when you balance something, you don't have to analyze it. In my opinion, you typically don't have to analyze it. You intuit it. And where does this intuition originally come from? Growing up. When you were a child, growing up, right? It's quote the natural way of learning. So it's not necessarily about needing to understand why all of this work. I was trying to explain it, right? Here, I was trying to explain it, the pros and cons on paper and whatnot, because I like teaching. Teaching is my thing. But not everyone has to teach anything. They want to have results. So when you balance something, you keep complacency at bay. And one of the most dangerous things about, or one of the most love-hate relationships people have with learning, right, and skill building, right, skill building is complacency or stagnation. These are very coupled together, right? How many times does it feel like you're going like, oh yes, and then it's like, oh no, I'm not getting anywhere. It's like, well, I'm giving up. Oh, I'm still giving up, and it's gone. And then you never get back up. So this right here, this part represents a small fraction of the time of a life skill. This part is until death. So the question is, are you practicing skills that allow you to do something for a lifetime, or are you choosing to be a hobby, right? And this is where I get a little bit pedantic here. I do consider language learning as a hobby, but I would be lying if I didn't say my hobby is my life skill. So my life skill is learning. I don't stop learning. And because of that, most of these things aren't hobbies. They're part of my career. This is my habit. Learning is my habit. It is part of my lifestyle. So I can do this nonstop. This is my bread and butter. I do this type of thing. It doesn't have to be language learning itself. It's learning itself. And for other people, when they say it's a hobby, this is the mindset that's appropriate for the hobby. Until it's not a hobby anymore, right? Until it's a career, or until it's part of your life, it will no longer become a hobby. When you move to Japan, for example, when you move to Japan and then you become fluent, for example, it's not a hobby anymore, right? It's a lifestyle. So the question is, are you building for a lifestyle or are you building for a hobby? And they both have appropriate uses. Some people just want to learn some Japanese and then maybe forget a lot of it and then revisit again in the future, and they're still happy, right? In the long run, they can still be happy relearning and learning and relearning and learning and practicing again. Most of the stuff that I'm saying might sound very analytical or kind of like a little bit too deep or like too much, is because I don't treat the things I learn as hobbies. I don't learn for being a hobby. I typically learn for permanence. Yes, I still plan on using Japanese and Chinese to explain scientific principles. And I do play video games because now it involves language learning. I play video games most of my life, and video games involve learning things. So I still talk about learning when I'm playing video games. Most of the skills that I build are not discarded. They typically aren't discarded. So my mindset might be very different from someone else. Some people just want to be entertained, you know, pick up a good game, play it for 10 hours, and then they're like, all right, I'm good. It's kind of like eating, right? And it's gone. They move on to the next thing. I play a video game and it would be like legacy building. And I'll refer to those video games over and over again for as long as I live, right? I try to retain those memories because I want to remember those things. You don't know if you already does that, but you would love to watch shorts, videos, or explanations like that. Unfortunately, I tried to do that. It's under deep digressions. I tried a section for it, and I stopped doing it. Now I just do digressions in the middle of something. So this would be an example. I spend usually this stuff, I want to make it clear that some of these videos are like 8 hours long, and I already said I only spend like 2 hours max. It's because the other 6 hours is probably someone asked a question and I decide to doodle and talk about the thing I know the best. So most of the time, if no one says anything, sometimes I might bring in a story. I prepare a story and an anecdote every single day. Whether I use it or not, I just place it to the side. So every single day I'm writing a new idea to speak about. But when I'm studying, it's just going to be, 2 hours a day or a 4-hour stream total. And when someone drops by, it can balloon up to like 16-hour stream or something. Actually, 16 hours, I don't want to do 16 hours anymore. Usually I cut it at 12 hours. But this is everywhere, and I don't mind saying it all again. Like, for example, I do this, I say this at the end of the stream most of the time. I don't mind doing this all again. It's practice for me. So, you know how sometimes people get a little tired of saying the same thing? Tired of saying the same thing over and over again? My really crude and direct way of saying this is don't. Don't say the same thing, but also say the same thing. Say the same but different. I practice communication most of the time. So when you ask me the question, I probably said the same general concept again. However, this is again practice, so I've said it differently. Same but different over and over again. So I don't mind saying it again. I know it can be saved and somewhere, but I usually prepare for these things. The spiel that I've mentioned today, I said yesterday as well. Practice, right? Practice. What is that? I typically say practice. Practice makes better, not perfect. I don't like that practice makes perfect concept. Or practice makes permanence. Right. So if it's weird. It's been a long time coming when someone, when I started learning language, it's very difficult to convince people that I practice most of the time. Not learn most of the time. Despite really loving to learn, I don't usually learn most of the time. When life keeps going, it takes longer and longer to find something to learn, and it's also harder and harder to maintain the new things you learn when you have so many other skills to practice. You can choose to discard skills, which is what I don't do very often. I'm very greedy, okay? I'm super greedy. So if I develop a skill, I don't want to discard it. Like, that leads to that feeling that a lot of people talk about, wasting their time. Try not to waste your time, basically. Right. Try not to make yourself feel like you're wasting your time. It was very nice to know you, MAKU. Thanks again for sharing. You have to go now? Oh yeah, no worries. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for the opportunity to share a little bit. I look forward to talking about Wagotabi with you. And good luck with your Wakotabi stream. There's not a lot of people who stream Wagotabi, so it'll be fun to see today and tomorrow what Wagotabi coverage there is. Yeah, I think it's been a year now, right? Since I on and off did Wakotabi coverage, so I look forward to hearing how your Japanese goes. I really like the process of language learning. I think it encourages all this thing. So I'll see you next time. Obviously, the Discord's always there. You'll see blocks and walls of text by me, so feel free to bounce in and out. I'm always on Discord if I'm not on stream. Yeah, generally. Take care. Enjoy. Thanks again. Thanks for the opportunity. Don't forget your own things, right? I don't want to form a dependent. I really appreciate that you can stop on by. Good luck with your studies. And definitely do your own thing too, you know what I mean? Like, I would be excited to hear what you do. Come back with stories. Come back with like, oh, give me a highlight from the first every stream when you do a Wagotabi stream. Give me a highlight of one of the things. If you can explain to me one of the highlights that you learn in Wagotabi, it would be very, very difficult for you to forget it. I think that's usually one of my call it hacks, I suppose. I always ask someone to explain a highlight to me when they're learning something. That's how I remember a lot of my random facts about Japanese. Yeah, but take care. Right. Take care. Enjoy. All right. Let's get on this. Wait, what time is it? 4 p.m. I think we have like 50 more reviews on top of this. Hopefully we get to it. Matane. Okay.
権利
Candy. Candy. No. I think it's something. Wait. Okay.
Tomodachi.
I wrote you, Dachi. Tomodachi. Fine. Oh, no, wait. Just kidding. Toku? What the? Maybe it's... What? Duh is what? Toku? I thought it was attain. Toku what? Oh, possess. Probably possess. No? What? Toku? Oh, no, this is special. No, what? Alright, we're skipping. I'm having a mental block. It's fine. It'll come back to me later.
Okayama ken.
Okay.
Shakuyo.
Shakuyo. Wow. Sturdy? Oh no, wait. That's not how that works. Shakuyo.ちゃんと借用 then shu no, I got nothing from that sentence. We'll move this to the end. That's fine. Hold. Element. It takes so long. Element. It takes so long to get this read, like especially on your me. What is it, like life and thread? Let's move this. It's fucking bad. Ashieru. Whoops. It's not. Oh. Hang on. No, it's not that one. What? Do I not have a link with this? Definitely memory. Joel is involved. It's oboeru.
覚える
Oboeru to remember, but what is oboe part for? I swear I wrote something. Oh no, I didn't write anything. Oh, the oboe. Intriguing. Let's write something. Joe remembered to Joel remembered to play the oboe. Or learn to play the oboe or I could tie it with edu if I wanted. No, this is fine. Remember how to play the oboe. Fine. That one is okay. I got hung up on the left one yesterday. Like winter and tree. And it's gone.
条件
Joken. Okay. That gut feeling failed. All right. That's yeah. I feel like that's due. No. Oh wait, this is special. How does this work? It's kind of like as expected, or like something like that. As expected. There are rocks in the river or something, flows in the river. What does that give me though? Oh. I feel like that's what this is. Move it to the end. Oh boy. We're in trouble now. Wait. Isakunen. Oh, I meant yeah, ototoshi. She works. I don't know why I thought Isakunen. Ototoshi is fine. I have no idea why I decided to write it this way. Oh man. Ototoshi. Oops. What? How do you year before okay, all right, fair enough. Uh-oh. YOLO? Okay. Oops. Wait.
前奏
Denso. Alright. I noticed I had a typo. Denso. Okay.
非常に
非常に YOLO. Okay. YOLO didn't work. Now what? They didn't go with Kun. Onyomi. Okay. Dang it. Pun. What is pun? Oh, it's actually pun. And okay.
Morau.
Keikan
Keikan. Oops. I missed the R in office, or like officer, and then turned into a noun. And English.
役
Yeah, good. English things. I had an English moment right there. Right. Lots of life go through, lots of something about a sexy waistline. Semeru. Right?
攻める
Semeru. A sexy waistline. What does that even mean? What does that even mean? Oh. I guess to blame is fine. There's others. What were the others? To criticize, to reproach. Accuse. Accuse. Hey. Alright. The heck? Oh no. Oh no. What is this? YOLO? Okay. I no idea. Alright, we're pushing this. Today is gonna be a rough day, huh?
Muze.
Muze.
Yoho.
Yoho. YOLO? This is mix. What? The heck is Jie? Jie 是什么? Jie 是... I'm thinking of the other festival. Matsuri. Matsuri and Sai. This one is... Oh, no, wait. Yes. This is totally festival too, right? Why do I not understand what you are anymore? Postage stamp? Wait, we have postage stamp, a root, and bamboo. Can I extrapolate? Oh, no, wait, this isn't festival. It's season in Japanese. So setsu. What in the heck? Is that not what that is? Whoops. What? Do I have the left side incorrect? Here's Joel. And then...
Joho.
There was a typo there somewhere on my first type. Situation? Case? Information? Okay. That's fine.
焼肉
Yaniku. What? That's not born, it's berry. Okay.
Inoru.
Oh, my keyboard actuated with an extra button there.
Yo.
Oh. Okay. What? Oh, wait. Just kidding.
お持ち帰り。
Omochikairi. Oh no, it's this character again. Okay, I got it back.
条約。
Joyaku. A clause in a promise? That like a contract or something? Terms? I don't know. Contract? Contract works? No. A clause promise. Like a contract. Well, what's another way to say contract? An agreement? A pact? A treaty? I think a contract is fine. Okay. Kuchi? Chifue ne? Ue?
口笛
Chifue. Okay. I still don't remember
静か
Shizuka's onyomi yet for that one move.
反省
Anse. Oh no. Anti-conserve. What the heck is anti-conserve? This has a roundabout. This one had a roundabout way of its thing. Anti-conserve is like wasteful, right? Or something like that. You want to, oh yeah, the pivot is you want to reconsider whether to be anti-conserve. What in the world is that, Ro? I mean, Ru? Okay, just kidding. Let's think about this. This and thread. Away. Oh, Gaku. It's not connect? Oh no. Gaku. Ay, ay, ay. Raku. Something about intertwine, right? Is that what they wanted? Intertwine. How do you spell intertwine? Entwine. Oh, there's no there's no entwine and entwine. Entangle. Okay, that's fine.
Arau. 脳みそ
Sorry, I accidentally hit my knee. It's off the... Now we're gonna come back to this.
悲しみ
Anasumi. The sad mess. Yes, the sad mess. Okay.
Sogo
Soul Fit over. Yes. Okay. It's gone. Yeah. Oh, okay.
戦車
Densha.
Seigi.
Dang it. Saber. Hey. I don't know. Correct is fine, right? Justice? Okay. Hey, what? No! I still don't remember what the still don't remember the onyomi for this. Prison, pen, life, moon. Huh. If I get this, I solve another paired up. Hmm. Yeah. Drawing a blank. Hmm. We're gonna pass.
Keisatsukan.
Oh, I did have Keizatsukan. Oh, and Khan, I accidentally added left. Oh, wait, that's because that's. Hmm. Mm. I typed that out of feeling. This.
胸
Yeah, moon. Okay.
責任
Sekinin. Blame and duty. Responsibility? What? How's that a bit off? Oh, did I misspell it? Oh, I missed the I. What incarnation? It's not. It's not. It's not. It's not that either. Something else. Oh. Whoops. Oh boy. Okay. Ooh, this could help out with
借金。
Shakin. Oops. Whoops. Does that help? Sort of. I think I skipped one that can be helpful. What in Oh no. I'm gonna go with okay. Okay. Yellow. Okay, that didn't work. All right. Yellow. Okay. All right, let's think about this. We have a roof, and that's a modified something, but I don't remember what the like. Under the roof. That's like a bent thing that I don't think I didn't think of this at first. I thought it was kind of weird to think of it this way. This is outer space. I still don't remember what the component is. Oh, it's dry because it's bent. I don't know how I feel about this one. Uchu helps though. This isn't komakai, is it?
細かい
Oh, komakai. Uh,
配達する
配達する. Excuse me? Oh.
一匹
一匹. Oh. What the tongue? What the tongue? How do I tongue it up? Shita? Wait, hold up. I don't remember what shita is. Oh, sheets? Oh my gosh. Sheets. Oh, okay. YOLO. What the heck is this? Remainder? Oh no, it's not. Material? Excuse me? Resource? Okay, let's think about this. There's something about a xylophone, some shellfish, and whatever the right thing is. It could be seen as a spike and a drop, I suppose. What in the... It's wealth. There's something else? No, it's just wealth. Oh, they use talent. Wow. Oh, I actually did xylophone. Oh, sigh. That makes sense. Kind of. Oh, riches. Oh, yeah, that's right. Riches. Okay. Oh, no. It's the weirdest one. Both Ken and Genji dislikes this. When what, both Ken and Genji dislike it when something is being compared. There's a Y in here. Definitely no, wait. No. Ken and Genji Kira.
嫌い
Hirai
義理
Iri Iri Righteous logic. I mean, righteous logic is... righteous logic is to... Wait. Sense of duty? Reason. Change? What in the world? What is that? Become? Oh, okay.
焼き鳥
Okay. Bro. Wait. Is assets good? Oh no, resources is. I added assets. What in the world is that? It's not a copier. What in the world? It's not a zombie. Winter, gun, and sun. Don't like this one. And it's bad. Right? What are you? It's a black hole. But why is it a black hole? Pew pew. Cool. When you shoot a gun at the sun, it becomes winter. The shot you fire sends the sun into crazy. Black hole. Why?
求人、
友人。友人。
実際、
実際。Heck. Heck. Is this the full fact phrase? Hmm. No.
Yeah.
Pass.
"達人」
達人。達人。Oh. 彼はカメラの達人です。
洗練。
洗練。What?
報告。
報告。
上がる。
上がる。Heck, that's not a boulder. Um.
対決、
対決。対決。Decide against? I don't know. Oppose? Decide against? Okay. 二人のライバルが、ライバル The heck is ライバルライバルが、ついに、対決することになった。I don't know, we're skipping this. Feels bad, man. Okay.
洗脳
Oh no. YOLO? Yes.
脳
No. What is happening? Wait. Uh,
国際
国際。国際は、ね。国際。What? 国際。No. Reading that. Entry plus Asian. What? I really thought that was it. Oh, wait. It's kind of the opposite. International, not national.
主義
主義 main righteousness? 主義 main righteousness. What is like main righteousness? It's like, oh, main righteousness. Yes.
任意
任意 duty idea? What the heck? What the duty idea? Hmm. Duty? Alright, we're skipping this. Mm. 무의식?
無意識
무의식. 무의식. No idea. No idea. No idea what. I was like, no wonder. Oh, no, just kidding. No idea. Oh, dearie me. Do I have no idea what this may be? Things are looking not so great. What? Oh. Whoops.
派手
Eh. This doesn't make sense, right? Hade doesn't make sense. How does hade not make sense? What it isn't? Hade? Bare fingers?
Hiyake.
Yake.
Kigan.
Higan. What is the difference? What is like plead? To pray for, right? Pray and demand. I was gonna plead or beg or I guess wish. Wish no. You pray for, you pray for something to come, right? Pray and demand. What is another way to say pray and demand? That's not hope. Pray, demand, but not hope or wish. It's like a prayer, right? Yes. Okay. Like the shogun have to omit spending. But I'm missing the key word. The shogun have to.
省く
Habuku. I guess to to like omit. Fine.
説得する。
説得する. No. When you acquire the theory, what do you do? Oh, you're convincing or persuading. What is that? Okay.
許可。
許可。許可。許可。学校から許可はもらっています。Skipping this. We're in trouble. Today is gonna be wildly tough near the end.
定義。
Iggy. Set just. I don't know how to interpret most of these things. Set just. Or set righteousness. And not just righteous. No, this one sucks, right? Be like determine. It's not set. Determine. Determine righteousness. Definition.
説明書
説明書. Okay.
人権
Can. YOLO. Whoops. Wait. No, just kidding. The heck is Batsu? The heck is Batsu? I just know it's Batsu. Vocabulary word. I look for a vocabulary word. Batsu. It's something like clan. A click? Okay. What the?
震災
That's a typo. Loiter and walk? What incarnation? Dang it. Wait. Is this dry too? Bamboo? A potato. Actually, I don't remember how that. Oh, flowers, not bamboo. Alright, we skipped 18. Oh no. Skipped 18. So, 大失敗ね。
大失敗。
大失敗。Report. I really thought this was which it isn't. What? No. Report. I have no idea if I wrote anything. Report. Maybe it's because it's the same.
報じる
Hojiru. Yup. Okay. Permit, right? What? Oh. What? I swear it's something like what? I could have sworn it's like you are or you or something. Oh no, wait. Maybe that's not permit. No, it's not permit. Rules? Wait. This one sucks. Next one. Oh boy.
静止
Ish. Still. I keep wanting to type kan and not kan. Gan, ganko ryoku, ne? Ganshi. What? Hmm. I think it's Viki. No. Original. Oh. Genshi ryoku.
原子力
Genshi ryoku. Now, what pray tell are you? I swear this is nashi. This part, nashi. So what is that? Hmm. It's not. Umeboshi? No. It's the plum thing, right? It's definitely umeboshi. How do I know it's bo?
梅干し
Umeboshi. 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 Oh, because of the hole. Hosu. Right. Right. What the heck is this?
伝達
Did I not type that the first time? I probably typed 10 instead. And what the dentatsu? Reception? Transmit. Attain. I thought reception was pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty good guess. And dentatsu. Revolve. Attain. No, we're skipping this. Okay. Action. Continuation. What in the world? It's like to get. Acquire. Obtain. Obtain is quicker. Okay. That resolved itself. And it's gone again. And it's back. Wait, no, it's gone. It's back, it's gone, it's back, it's gone. Element. 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 Sosai.
素材
Sosai. This is a figure of speech. Pretty sure this is a figure of speech. Oh, it might be Sasuga?
さすが
Oh my gosh, Sasuga. Wow, that was the depths of my. Oh, dude, that was somewhere deep in there. Sasuga. That was so deep in there. This might be using like this is kind of similar to the last one as expected. I think this is as expected as well, but Atashite.
果たして
As expected. I'm pretty sure. Yes. Okay. Rejoice. This is kind of like You're So Cool. I swear this is like You're So Cool. Or you so like so yo Yorokubi. What? I really thought Yorokubi.
喜び
Yorokubi. Joyfully or delight or stuff. Wait, I got this.
平成
Ese. Peaceful and tranquil is good enough. Versus decide. How's this here? What's another way to... Nah, where this... And then... Issue idea. With like a case? A condition? Issue idea. Issue idea. Or duty. I guess duty idea. I think this is a pivot. Optional? That's the only thing I can remember from yesterday. It's optional. This one sucks. I don't know. My idea of duty is that you don't really have to do. It's optional. I don't know. This one kind of just sucks. Maybe we can link it with the reads to help out. Okay. So we have eagle and a ninja. Idea of ninjas. Ninjas have ideas of ninjas have ideas of optionally having duty-bound eagles as scouts. E J ninjas optional. Got duty in there. All right. Okay. Wait, I actually got 무의식이. 무의식이. Those 무의식이 work. No idea or something. Unconsciousness? Oh, I misspelled it. Yeah. Consciousness. But how did consciousness work? Discerning is the word I was looking for. It's discerning. Oh, I think this one might go down as one of the rougher characters. Almost there. Another one where I dropped a meaning. I think meaning is getting a little bit tough. I don't usually drop translations. So what is this? Permit? And permit? What? Permit and 学校から somewhere from school. That doesn't help. It'd be so many things. Don't know. Alright, let's see what else we have left. Ah, okay. Alright, hold up. We gotta know this. So, I guess can permit is like permission, right? So this is like to permit as well. So to, or, yes, to permit, to forgive. What am I forgiving? Yuru.
許す
This is gonna need help. Oh, this is the one I was thinking of earlier. But it was not the other one. Kyo? That's Kyo, right? Yuru. Yuru. Permitted to visit little Kyo. To. Kyoto. With Sue? Okay, that solves the other one. Now, what the heck is this? Is this one of the leeches? I have no idea. So, obtain. You're obtaining and sending out. Oh, and you're transmitting. Guess transmission. So it's the opposite. It's kind of the okay. I think that's one's okay. This one though, is this a leech? Decide? Decision? What is against? Decide. Confront? Oh my gosh. Okay. Instead of oppose, confront. Fair enough. And then this is permit. Possible, it's permission. Oh my god. We still got more. Okay. It's later, right? That's at 8 p.m. Okay, we got 3 hours. We have lessons? Wait. Oh yeah, the 2 new lessons. Hang on. We gotta do these. Nice. That's a good burn. I want to burn some stuff. Let's do it. This is a burn item. Oh no. I don't know what this is. Wait. I don't know. Wait. Hold up. Alright, we're skipping this. It's not Imamade?
今まで
Oh, I typed it incorrectly. 今まで like from here on out? What? Okay. Hold up. 今まで This is a burn item. 今まで Until now? Some of the stuff I typed were synonyms in phrases.
出す
That's it. Whoops. Okay. The dirt and spirit. What the? Is this a burn item? What the dirt and spirit? Oh. Hmm. Yeah, that's definitely a burn item. Wasn't this like
移す
it's this it? Oops. Oops. Okay. Fine. 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 Oops.
仕方
Shikata. What the shikata? Like way of doing? Oh, okay. That's fine. Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
下がる
I got it. That's fine.
わかる
Wakaru. Wakaru. What? Wait. Hold up. This is definitely a burn item. Oh, wait. This means something entirely different from the Chinese use, right? This is, to understand. Whoops, that's Valley. That's fine. That's fine. Whoops.
他
Okay. That's fine.
お礼
Ore. That's fine. That's fine.
気分
Ibun. Not fine. Not fine. This is not fine. Wait. That's fine. That's okay. That's fine.
休む
Yasumu. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Okay. What? Wait. Really? What? Excuse me? Alright.
男の人
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
下町
Shitamachi. That's fine. That's fine. Oops. Oh. No. Oh, wait. That's fine.
産む
Imu. It's fine. Oops. Different. It's fine. Dang it. Oops. Wait. What? Wait. What? What is, wait. Hayashi. That's kind of sketch. Hayashi is kind of sketch. That's fine. Whoops. That's fine. That's fine. Whoops.
生まれ
Umade. That's fine.
三世
Sensei. It's fine.
上がる
That's fine. Wait. Wait. Oh no. Oh, I lost it. I lost it. It's gone. And this was just completely unrelated, right? Umai.
うまい
It's just like that's right, but you can be more specific. Okay. Umai is really weak. Weak. Very weak. That's okay. Alright, now we're back. I think we gotta write something for this, right? Umai is weak. What the heck? Umai didn't come to me. It's not that. What are you? Mainly? Omoni.
主に
Omoni. Oh, this is about Mo. You mainly talk about Mo? Oh, Mo. Okay. Okay. Omo. Omo. Mo the Great mainly talks about shoots. Actually, how many reads do I have? And then also shoot. No, I don't. Is this my only Omo? Most certainly am. Yeah. It's been a while getting questionable burns. Umai is a very questionable. What was this? Omoni. Is mainly known to be great with making shoots. Maybe that Mo has got to do something, right? It's fine. Oh, not really. We'll probably have to resurrect that. And then what the heck happened here? It's no? Naka? No. Definitely doesn't use Naka. Oh, wait. This is not it's
中央
Duo. Oh, it's actually the main read. Why do I think it's A? Oh, it's because A has, yeah, that's right. A has the left radical. Yes. Oops. All right, we got to do our lessons. Member of a committee as opposed to member of the diet. How did that work? Okay. So member of the committee. Sure, that makes sense. And then Yin.
in,
Okay, Yin. Alright, enemy is a Mohawk plus winter. Amazing. Seeing a Mohawk in the winter means the enemy is nearby. You are from the Dreadlock tribe. Okay. Fine. What's the read on this? Techie. You're kind of a techie, so you have an advantage over your enemies. You're armed with night vision goggles and cool tech as well. Being a techie certainly has an advantage. So we use our Mohawk detecting techie. Okay, that's fine. We'll try. Arch enemy. Night techie. Uniform. Good? Or is it gonna be good? No. Yes? Do I have another read for this? I don't remember. It's been a while. Like safe. Good.
制服制服
Makes sense. We know that word already.
制度
制度
Yeah. I know this as system more than control. Forcing. Interesting. What? Kyose. Kyose. Maybe Kyose. Have strong control over us. Means making someone do something against it. Okay.
強制
Kyose.
強制
That's fine. Recognize. Ah, there's recognize. Run. There's the heckin' run. Yeah. Recognize or acknowledge. Okay, that's fair enough. Take a blade to your heart. What was it? Robin Hood? Having their words carved into your heart makes you recognize the authority, but the only one you could ever truly recognize is Nintendo. Alright, fair enough. Self-control makes sense.
時勢
Jise,
時勢
Jise. Alright, okay. Night vision goggles, right? Okay. Alright. And it's gone.
制服
Safe, good. Oops. I spell uniform. Okay.
いい
In.
制度
Dedo.
時勢
Yeah. Actually, I kind of like control more than system. Hmm.
強制
Yose. How do you write take control? Force? Yes. Alright. Wow, today was a bit rough. 18? Wow. We're really having some rough time right now. I think we'll just take it as a getting back into the groove situation. Alright. Let's do our momos. Mohawk, simultaneous, next, spear, number, half, and blade. Alright, reads. Ana, Moda. Oh, so also need our two new guys, right? What is this? Techie or techie, and cyborg. I eat. Kyo. An. Se. Mu. Mu. A. I. So. Setsu. Shi. And. A. Okay. Oka. Oh, you take so long. Why? What is the nature of my malfunction with this? Yeah, this one sucks. Like, it hasn't improved at all across so long. Yeah, so soap is I'm gonna use soup from now on. Oh no, wait, but so far away. So do I just think of sulfur oxide? Sulfur oxide. Okay. So 간, 기, 닌, and yo. Joel's a bit slow. So is Seki. Jo, se. Zol. Zol's pretty slow. So is so is this. Ze. Ken. Sai. Nintendo. Nin. Ki. Sen. Centaur. Okay. Atom. So the atom composes. So the elements are composed of atoms. We'll let it go. We'll let it be for a bit. Alright, folks. That's a wrap up for WaniKani today. If you're gonna watch this later, arigatou gozaimasu. Right. Until then, feel free to pick up WaniKani, right, or follow along. Give it a try. As always, you're more than welcome to stop on by, share a couple casual conversations, or just have me like digress into random stuff about learning. Today had an opportunity to rehearse, practice, and lots of my thoughts over the close to 2 years now, right? We're getting close. More on that in the next 100 days. So until then, right, for those who are only interested in WaniKani in Japanese, 皆さんまたね。いてくれてありがとう. As always, right, see you next time. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna get up, walk around, stretch a little bit before Hanzi Hero. I think these getting back settled is a little tough. Alright, I'll be right back. Thank you.